Hello everyone, good evening, good evening. So I think I'm audible, right? Let me check the sound quality once. Hello everyone, good evening, good evening. Yes. So I think my voice is audible. Yes, thank you. Yes. Okay. Let me wait for one more minute. Yes, thank you, Monica Chandra Yadav, thank you. Okay. So in this video, what we're going to discuss is we're going to discuss about UPSC Mathematics Optionals Paper 1 syllabus and the previous year's paper analysis, right? So in this video, I'm going to concentrate only on paper 1. So you know that we have two papers for Mathematics Optional, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 will be in morning and paper 2 will be evening. Both carries 250 marks each. So total you will have 500 marks, right? Yes. So in this video, what we will do is we will discuss the syllabus and book list and the previous year's question paper analysis on paper 1, right? So in the upcoming videos, we will see paper 2 and so on. So before getting into the content of this video, let me tell you that some of the offers that are going in Unacademy platform. So in this week, they have announced this as a special price week from 13th September to 17th September. So you can have 10% additional discount plus 10% with education code, right? That is, you will have 20% discount overall. So you can use my code, that is prasanna_mathpress. So I attach that in description to avail 20% off overall. And then you can get 20% off only if you purchase this between 13th September to 17th September. After these dates, the price will be hike, right? Yes. And there are two batches running for UPSC, that is for prelims and mains, and there is 1 year batch and also there is 2 year batch. So this is the list of 1 year batch. So it starts on 15th September and these are the schedules for 1 year batch. So you can take a moment to see this. So this is the schedule for 1 year batch that's starting on September 15th, and these are the educators that are teaching the specified subjects. For example, Asian history, it is Ranganathan Kandela sir, etc. So you can see each individual educator's name that are teaching each subjects. And there is also 2 year batches, again that is also starting on 15th September for prelims, mains, optional, etc. And this is the schedule for 2 year batch. You can pause and go through all the schedules. And these are the educators that are teaching 2 years batch, that is if you are writing 2023 optional, right? So you can go through all the educators that are teaching specified subjects. And there is also some optional courses launching this September, and you can see PSIR paper 1 English date of launch, and PSIR paper 2 sociology paper 1 paper 2, and geography paper 1 paper 2. And there is also called Legends Wisdom series running from this Teachers Day. You can also go through this. And there is a special technology called raise hand, right? So in a live class itself, you can use the raise hand tool to clear your doubts, right? That is, you can speak with the educator one-to-one, talk with your favorite educator in live class and clear your doubts. And there is also iconic subscription patch where you will get personal guidance, test analysis, etc. And there is also suppose if you can't able to afford the fee, there is also a loan features in Unacademy. And when you register for a 1 year course, you will get a 10,000 rupees worth of 20 books created by UPSC mathematics expert. And there will be a scholarship test that will be running on 19th September. And if you did well in that, you will have a chance to get 100% discount on participation, right? If you are in top. Yes, so now we'll get into our content, which is for UPSC mathematics optional syllabus and previous year's analysis, right? Yes. So let me see briefly that we have paper 1 and paper 2, right? So in paper 1 we will have 6 papers and paper 2 we will have 7 topics. So paper 1 we have linear algebra, calculus. So calculus is split into differential calculus and integral calculus, and we have analytical geometry on the differential equation, vector analysis, statics and dynamics. So these are the 6 topics that I'm going to concentrate on this video, that is paper 1, right? Paper 2 we have modern algebra, analysis, complex analysis, real analysis, linear programming, partial differential equation, numerical analysis and computer programming, mechanics and fluid dynamics, right? Yes. So we will focus only on paper 1. So paper 1 we will have 6 topics, very easy topics, which are linear algebra. So calculus we have differential calculus and integral calculus, both will be there, right? So let me check the video once that I am audible and clear. Yes, we'll move on. So I will come to your doubts, right? So I'll see all the doubts very soon. So Simirna Blessy is saying extremely happy for you, sir. It's the result of your hard work. Glad that you are part of Unacademy now. Yes, thank you. So I will come to your doubt session at the end of the video. So first let me finish this, right? So paper 1 we have linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, ODE, vector analysis and statics and dynamics, right? Yes. So paper 1 for 250 marks, paper 2 is for 250 marks. So paper 1, first we will see the exam pattern. So there are 8 questions divided into 2 sections, printed both in Hindi and English. So candidates asked to attempt 5 questions in all. So we will have 8 questions. So each question carries 50 marks, right? So let me write this. Okay, so please wait a moment. Yes. So we will have 8 questions. So we have section A and section B, right? So we have 2 sections, and in each section we will have 4 questions. So each section we will have 4 questions, right? And each question carries 50 marks. So there will be lots of subdivisions in each question, right? Because if they give one question for 50 marks, then all will clear very easily, right? So for example, first question, there may be 2-3 subdivisions, 15, 15, 20, right? So each question will have 50 marks, right? This is the section A and section B. Each section will have 4 questions each. And you can see the first question and 50 questions are compulsory, and out of remaining 3 are to be attempted, choosing at least 1 from each section, right? That is the first question. The first question and 50 questions are compulsory, and you can I need to write under 3 questions, right? Because we have to write 5 questions overall. So there are 2 compulsory questions, and you need to choose 1 question at least from each section. That means you can write these. You can choose 3 from these 2, and you can write 1 from these 3, or you can pick 2 from 6, 7, 8, and you can pick 1 from 2, 3, 4, right? That's your wish. Yes. So we will have section A and section B. We will have 8 questions. All 8 questions are from these 6 topics, that is linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, ODE, vector analysis, statics and dynamics, right? Yes. Now I have said that we have 2 sections, section A and section B. Section A will have 4 questions, section B will have 4 questions. So what I did is, based on the previous trends, right? Based on the previous trends and based on the previous last 10 years question paper. So what I inferred is, section A and section B. The section A we have these 3 topics alone, that is linear algebra, calculus and analytical geometry. So you will get these 3 topics in section A. And in section B, you will have ODE, vector analysis, statics and dynamics. Again, this is not the exact thing that was said by UPSC, but what we infer from the last 10 years is, out of these 6 chapters, right? We are only focusing on paper 1 as of now. So out of these 6 chapters, so when we look at the last 10 years of 10-year question papers, section A will have these 3 topics, and section B will have these 3 topics. That means we will have 4 questions from these 3 topics, and we will have another 4 questions from these 3 topics, right? Yes. And first and fifth are compulsory. You need to write 3 questions, choosing 1 from each. Yes. right? So linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, and section B will have ODE, vector analysis, and statistics and dynamics, right? Yes. So let me give you the overview of syllabus. So we have 6 chapters, right? Yes. So don't think I'm repeating because this is very important video. You need to understand the core of the paper, right? The idea, right? When you have idea, you can easily do all the problems. Yes. So you can see linear algebra. So we will start with vector space, right? So vector space over R and C, that is vector space over real numbers and complex numbers. And we have a concept of linear dependence and independence, subspace. It's a very easy topics. Don't get worried about the syllabus. You need to commit. That's the important thing, right? You need to spend at least 1 year if you are choosing max as an optional, right? Yes. So vector space over R and C, dependence and linear dependent, subspace, basis, dimensions, linear transformation, rank, nullity, matrix of linear transformation, and we have row and column reduction, echelon form, rank of a matrix, inverse of a matrix, and we have a solution system of linear equations, eigenvalues and eigenvectors, characteristic polynomial. Don't worry if you didn't understand the names that I'm pronouncing, right? These are very easy, and you can see there are some common names that you have studied in school level itself. For example, the rank of a matrix, inverse of a matrix, solution of system of linear equations. These are some of the concepts that we studied in 11th and 12th itself, right? Yes. The book list that I'm going to follow for the upcoming lectures are linear algebra by A.R. Vasishta, this by Krishna series, and matrices by Krishna series, and linear algebra by Friedberg, right? So my notes will be comprising of these 3 important books. So all the questions that are directly from these books only, right? So if you look at the previous year's question papers, you will get a direct question without changing the number itself from these 3 standard books, right? So linear algebra by Friedberg, it is a conceptual book, right? If you want to understand I will teach all conceptually as well as problematically, but if you need more understanding conceptually, we will be using linear algebra by Friedberg, and for problem solving we will use linear algebra by A.R. Vasishta and the matrices by Krishna series, right? Yes, both are Krishna series. So this is the overview of linear algebra. And for calculus, again I'm saying don't get worried about the syllabus, right? It's a very easy parts. So calculus, we have differential calculus and integral calculus. So in differential calculus we will have limit, continuity, differentiability. These are very important, as well as these are the topics that we come across in school level. So if you have prepared a JE for 12th standard, these topics will be very easy for you. And then we will have maxima and minima, and then first we will study limit, continuity, differentiability for a function of single variable, and we study again limit, continuity, differentiability for a function of 2 variable, right? So you can see limit, continuity, differentiability for function of 2 variable, right? 2 or 3 variable, and here we will study for 1 variable. After that we will have maxima and minima, right? So I think the video is clear, right? Yes, okay. And then we will have integral calculus. So integral calculus, we will have definite integral, indefinite integral, double integral, triple integral. All are very easy, which are very problem oriented, right? So I will be using 5 books for differential calculus. My notes will be union of all these 5 books. So first is differential calculus by Shanti Narayanan, and golden series by N.P. Bali, and Krishna series on DC, and Krishna series on IC, and mathematical analysis by Malik and Arora. So again you will get a direct question from these 5 books only when you look in the last 10 years question papers, right? So when you look at the last 10 year question papers, all the questions are directly from these books only. So when we will prepare all these books, so we will do this. And next is analytical geometry. For analytical geometry we have plane, spheres, cone, cylinder, paraboloid, ellipsoid, hyperboloid, right? These are the main topics. And we will have second degree equation 3 variable, reduction to canonical form, etc. And we will use 2 books for the analytical geometry throughout the course, which is solid geometry, PNC solid geometry, that is by Chatterjee, and another is Krishna series on analytical geometry, right? Yes. And for ODE is very problem oriented. So these are very easy topics. You need to solve a first order ODE. There are many methods to solve, that is integrating factor, etc. And then we will be moving on to singular solutions, and then we will be moving on to how to solve a ODE with the constant coefficient and with variable coefficients. We have 6 types, and then we will be moving on to Laplace transform, right? So if you have studied engineering, these topics will be very easy for you. Yes. And the book list that I am going to say is 2 books, both from MD Raisingania sir. So both are very standard books. You will get the same exact question from these books only, but you need to practice very well, right? Because there will be many problems in ODE. So you just need lots of practice for ODE. And for vector analysis, again, if you have studied engineering or any engineering related course, you would have studied that Green's theorem, Stokes theorem, and then a Gauss divergence theorem, and then a line integral, triple integral, volume integral. All are based on integrals. So again, we will be using Krishna series on vector calculus and a textbook of vector analysis by Shanti Narayanan, right? So these are the 3 books we will be using. 2 books, sorry. And the last part is statics and dynamics. This is physics oriented path, and we will here you can see that the topics are rectilinear motion, simple harmonic motion. Again, these are the topics that you come across in 11th standard itself, right? So equilibrium of a system of particles, and then common catenary, principle of virtual work. And these are the syllabus for statics and dynamics. You would have noticed lots of Krishna series books, right? So I think there is some relationship between Krishna series and us, right? So Krishna series books are very standard books for UPSC mathematics optional. So these are the elaboration of the 6 topics that we will study in paper 1. So paper 1 we have linear algebra, and then okay, yes. So paper 1 we have linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, ODE, and then vector analysis, statics and dynamics, right? Yes. Now we will analyze each paper year wise, right? So as I said, you can see this is the analysis of 2020 paper analysis, right? So again, as I said earlier, we will have 2 sections, section A and section B. So section A we have 4 questions, section B will have another 4 questions, and 1 and 5 are compulsory, right? So as I said earlier, I have break section A and section B based on the previous trend. In section A we will have linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, and section B we will have ODE, vector analysis, and statics and dynamics, right? Yes. So you can see this is you can see in section A there are 4 questions. In the first question we have 5 subdivisions, A, B, C, D, E, and you can see the first question is from linear algebra, second question is from linear algebra, calculus, and analytical geometry. As I said earlier, you can see all the 4 questions are in section A are only from the 3 topics which I said: linear algebra, calculus, and analytical geometry. Again, this is not prescribed by UPSC. That based on the previous trends, what we infer is these are the 3 topics that comes under section A. And section B, you can see the remaining 4 topics. Linear algebra, 3 topics: linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, and remaining 3 topics are from section B, that is ODE, vector analysis, statics and dynamics, right? I'm using VA for vector analysis, ST for statics and dynamics, CEL for calculus, and ODE for ordinary differential equation. And you can see, so you can see second question is from calculus, linear algebra, calculus, that is it has second question has 3 subdivisions, A, B, C, so 15, 20, 15. Again, you can see third question is from calculus, linear algebra, analytical geometry. So as you can see the split up of all the each subjects. So linear algebra, there is 70 marks from linear algebra for 2020 paper, right? So there is no fixed marks that you will get in each paper. Every year it will vary, right? You will come to know. So in this paper we have linear algebra for 70 marks, calculus for 90 marks, analytical geometry for 40 marks. So here you will have 4 questions, right? That means you will have 200 marks overall here. You can attend 3 questions, right? Maximum of 3 questions from section A. So first you need to attend this question. You can choose out of these 3 questions, you can choose 1 or 2. If you choose 2, you need to answer 1 from these 3, right? Yes. Suppose what the important thing is, you cannot leave the chapters, right? Because you can see in compulsory first question we have these 3 topics, and you can see all the 3 topics comes under this compulsory question. So that means you cannot leave the chapter. And again you can see from these 3 topics from compulsory question, you can see it comprises of all 3 chapters: ODE, VA, and ST, that is statics and dynamics. That means you cannot leave chapters, right? Yes. Suppose if you wish to leave one chapters, let me say what the situation, right? Suppose for example, let me say you are not studying statics and dynamics, right? Suppose for example you are not studying statics and dynamics. Suppose if you are attending 2020 paper without studying statics and dynamics, what you will get is you will lose 20 marks. surely 20 marks, right? Because it is a compulsory question and you need to choose one question from 6, 7, 8, right? Suppose if you choose this question, you will lose another 15 marks. That means 20 plus 10, here you will have 20 marks, here you will have 15 marks, so you will lose 35 marks, right? So out of 250, you can able to attend only 250 minus 35, 215 marks, right? This is the situation that you will get. Yes. So make sure that you read all the chapters, right? Yes. And again, you can see from 5, 6, 7, 8. So these 3 chapters is split up in a way. You can see from vector analysis is 70 marks, statistics dynamics 70 marks, and ODE it has 60 marks, right? Yes. And the very important thing that the pattern that I observed is compulsory question always has 5 questions. So you can see A, B, C, D, E, and again here also you can see A, B, C, D, E. Each carries 15 marks. That is the important point that we observe in last 5 years analysis, right? So here it may vary. Here it has 3 subdivisions. It can have 4 subdivision also. But in compulsory question, you will have 5 questions, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Yes. The only thing you need is practice, right? If you how much practice you have is the result, right? Yes. And you can see 2019 paper analysis. Again, as I said earlier, you can see the first 4 questions are from the 3 topics which I have said: linear algebra, calculus, and analytical geometry. So that means you can see again, as I said earlier, A, B, C, D, E. So we have 5 questions, each carries 10 marks in compulsory question, and again you can see 5 questions, each carries 10 marks in compulsory question, right? Yes. So you can see split up for each paper. So this will have 200 marks. This will have 200 marks. So you need to answer. You can at least choose at most 3 from this and at most 2 from this if you wish, or at least 3 from this, 2 from this, right? Whatever you can wish. Yes. So what I suggest is, please give more importance to the first 3 topics, which is calculus, linear algebra, and analytical geometry. All 3 are very easy topics, and ODE is also very easy. All will be problem oriented, right? If you know how to solve and how to differentiate, you can do ODE. And vector analysis, again, if you know how to integrate, you can do whatever question you ask me. Vector analysis, statistics dynamics, the only part you need to work on it, right? Because you need to practice more problems on that. Yes. And 2018, so 2018 you can see again there is the same pattern, but here you can see there is each question. Here we have 4 questions in each subdivision, right? So each question you have 4 subdivision, but in the previous you can see 15, 15, 20. Here we will have 12, 13, 13, 12. That means this paper takes some more time than 2019 paper, right? Yes. So because you need to attend 4 questions in a 4 subtopic in each question, right? Yes. So but the pattern hasn't changed. Linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, each all 10, 10, 10, 10, and ODE, vector, standard statistics and dynamics, each carries 10 marks, right? So again you can see in this paper you can see the weightage of ODE. So it is purely based on your luck, right? Suppose we will take the same scenario. Suppose if you didn't study statistics and dynamics, that means what you will have in this paper is you will surely lose 10 marks because it is a compulsory question, and you can choose this question, right? So you would have been the luckiest person because you can see this question hasn't had statistics and dynamics part, right? So you can choose 2 from here. You need to attend these 2 questions and 1 from this. That means you will lose only 10 marks out of 250. You will lose only 10 marks if you haven't studied statistics and dynamics, right? So it is purely based on the luck. But when you choose, but in 2020 paper you would have loosened 35 marks, right? Yes. So again 2017 paper you can see, so we have section A and section B. So section A we have these 3 topics. Yes. And you can see the weightage of ODE in this paper. So it carries 107 marks ODE alone, right? So if there's a solve, if you know how to solve, differentiate, you will do ODE, right? Yes. And BASD, right? Yes. This is one of the easiest papers because this paper hasn't had statistics and dynamics question lot. Now this is 17 paper. You can see again this trend is not changing. Compulsory question 1 and 5, you will have 5 questions, each question carries 10 marks. The first 4 question will be of linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry. Next 4 question will be of ODE, BA, and statics and dynamics, right? Yes. And again you can see split up. Here this equally split up, so you can see 70 60 70. So this will have 200 marks and this will have 200 marks. So you need to answer 1 and 5 compulsory. You need to answer 1 from each section, and at most overall we will need to answer 3 questions apart from 1 and 5. And you can see 2016 paper. So again same trend. So in this paper you can see the marks are equally splitted, so 70 85 45 and 40 55 75. So these 3 topics are section A. So these 4 questions are from these 3 topics, and section B again these 3 topics from section B, right? So that means you come to know the weightage of each chapters, right? So linear algebra and calculus plays very important role. And yes, so linear algebra, calculus, abstract, analytical geometry, all 3 will play a very important role. And ODE, VASD also, every chapter plays very important role in UPSC mathematics optional, right? So if you have any doubt, I can address the doubt. So we will, in the upcoming videos, what we will do, I will okay, so in the upcoming videos what I will do is I will give a overview each subtopics. For example, in linear algebra, what are the how many questions that are from each subtopics. For example, in the upcoming videos what I will do is, in linear algebra, how many questions are from this topic, that is vector space over R and C. So we will do subtopics, right? In linear algebra we will break this into some 8 to 7 subtopics, and we will analyze how many questions are asked from each subtopics, so that we will come to know the important subtopics in each chapters, right? So in upcoming videos we will do this. The next video I will talk about linear algebra in a very detailed way, and in the following videos I will talk about calculus by splitting it into subtopics, and I will analyze the last 10 year question papers. What are the problems that we add in each subtopic, so that you will have a better idea about the question paper, right? Yes. So I have started with paper 1, right? So in this video we are only discussing on paper 1. So in the upcoming videos we will discuss subtopic linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, ODE, vector analysis, statics and dynamics, and in the next video we will move, and after finishing that we will move on to paper 2, right? Yes. This is very detailed about paper 1. So I will start the course very soon. So linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry. First I will be starting linear algebra. So the course will be very elaborate with lots of practice questions. So if you have any doubt, I can answer those doubts. So okay, I will answer this doubt. Okay, I'll answer the doubts now. So Niraj Kumar, max optional key, class name is, okay, actually I don't know Hindi. Prabhu Kumar, sir, from what topic we can expect question 1 and 5? Yes, so as I said earlier, the Prabhu Kumar is asking, so you can see actually this is not fixed by UPSC, right? So from the last previous trends, what we observe is, in first question we have union of linear algebra, calculus, analytical geometry, right? In fifth question we have a union of questions from ODE, vector analysis, statics and dynamics, right? Yes, so these are the questions that we will get in question 1 and question 5, right? Yes. Prabhu Kumar, if you look at yes, Prabhu Kumar, that's what I am saying, that you will, based on the previous trends, so LA stands for linear algebra, CAL stands for calculus, AG stands for analytical geometry, right? Yes. Okay. Can we write any 3 questions from 2, 3, 4 and 6, 7, 8? Okay, I'll let you know again. So Simona Blessy is asking, can we write any 3 questions from 2, 3, 4 and 6, 7, 8? So what you need to do is, you need to surely write question number 1 and question number 5. So we need to write 5 questions overall, right? So you need to compulsory write first question, 5th question. That means you need to write 3 questions now, right? You need to choose at least one question from section A and section B, right? That means at least 2. can see the number of marks. 3 questions are to be attempted, at least 1 question from each section, right? That means except 1 and 5. Except 1 and 5, you need to write at least 1 question. So that means you can choose 1 from 6, 7, 8, and you can write 2 from 2, 3, 4, or you can write 1 from 2, 3, 4, or you can write 2 from 6, 7, 8, right? Yes. Rahul Sharma is asking when you will start classes on Unacademy. I hope you take full length courses instead of crash courses. Yes, my course will be very, very detailed, so I'll assure that. And can you give a tentative date of starting of course on Unacademy? I'll let you know very soon. I'll post all the dates in a community page. Okay. So KM Sharma is asking approximately how many hours of course will you bring for both paper 1 paper 2? So if I want to teach elaborately, surely I'll need I need at least 10 months to cover both paper 1 paper 2 in a very, very, very elaborate way, right? With all PYQs, with lot of practice questions, with solutions to last 20 years, 15 years PYQs. I need at least 10 months, right? That is the real truth. I need at least 10 months or maximum of 10 months to cover paper 1 and paper 2 in a very elaborate way. Okay. So I think these are the questions. So if you have any some more question, so if there is some more question I can address, or else we will end this session. So soon I will send the special class link in the community post, right? In the community post I will add that link. Okay. So is there any question? We have sufficient time for 2022. Okay, so it's clear now. Actually we have sufficient time for 2022, right? But I need at least 10 months to finish the topic, right? So at least I need 10 months. Okay. Okay, sir, clear now. Yes, thank you. So let me remind you all the offers that are going in Unacademy, right? So there is, as I said in the beginning itself, so we have 20% off overall, first 10% discount, and 10% you can use my code, which is prasanna_mathpress, and we have hike soon, so better use this code. And we have 2 batches, one for 1 year and for 2-year batches, and these are the tentative schedule that I've scheduled in the beginning itself, and these are the educators that are teaching each papers. So if you want, you can pause the video and just go through it. And we have 2 years course also, and this is the schedule, and these are the educators. In the beginning itself I have elaborately set all the informations that are required, right? And there is a special access, special technological days, and there you can interact with the teachers at live session itself. Okay, and we have a iconic subscription also, so you can also go to that, get into this to give a personal guidance. And if you can't able to afford, you will have a loan, so that you can get loan from this. And if you register, you will have a 10,000 rupees worth of book for prelims and mains, right? It is not for mathematics optional, right? It is for prelims and mains. And we have 19th September, there is a scholarship test. So if you perform well, if you are in the top cadre, you will have 100% discount on participation, etc., right? Yes. Okay, so KM Sharma is saying waiting for best maths optional course. Yes, we will do it, right? Yes, we will do it. So okay, so thank you. So I think there is no more doubt. So I think I'll end this session now. So upcoming special classes and upcoming classes on Unacademy, I'll let you all the details in community post, right? So you can use my code prasanna_mathpress, that is in description in this video, right? Okay, so if you want the PDF of this attachment, I can attach this in the description also, so that you will have some idea about the previous year's question analysis, right? So thank you.